record now. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So welcome to today's session that Laura and me are recording. And Laura just said something very intense and beautiful that, beautiful because it's very fascinating what she's describing. So we felt like recording this. So Laura, do you feel like sharing what you just told me?
Yes, I will. I was just telling, so I'm feeling at this moment, Isabelle just asked me, how are you feeling, Laura? And I said, oh, it's really strange because at this moment, I feel so, on the one moment, I feel so up, and on the other moment, I feel so down. And then when I was saying that, I just realized myself, it feels like if I know that I'm only having 3 months to live from this moment on. And on the one side, that's such an exciting feeling. It's so beautiful because I know now I really have to get everything out of my life that I have in my ability. And on the other hand, it is a really awful feeling because it's giving me the sense of I'm not doing enough. Am I doing enough? Am I doing the right things? No, I'm not doing the right things. So that's giving me this really up and down feeling. But it's also a feeling like, whoa, I'm living, I'm on the earth and I'm living. And I feel so connected to the energy in the world at the same time, while on the other hand, I know that people see me, and maybe I even see myself sometimes, as a person who is really a thinking person, although I'm also very a feeling person. But, I have this intelligence kind of brain that is always thinking. Well, at least I used to think a lot, but now I can also stop my thinking. But I notice now how connected I am to everything. And that's such a weird feeling. And I don't know what to think about it. Maybe that's why I bring up the thinking part in myself, because just what I just said with the feeling of only having 3 months to live, although I don't know if I have 3 months to live. I don't know. Maybe I'll die tomorrow, or maybe in 20 years, I don't know. But it's the feeling that I have like, oh, I only have 3 months left. And it's giving such a beautiful, but also really strange and also very awkward feeling. So yeah, that's what I was telling. Yeah,
and maybe also connecting to what we were talking about last week, no? Because may I share this with the elephant?
Yes.
What you know, or start, and then maybe you can continue with saying it, because you said that you have this feeling. Riding on this deep hole. Maybe you want to share this too, this image.
Yes, yeah. I have this since a while. I have this feeling in myself that I have this very, very big and so powerful elephant in my system. It's me, and I'm part of the elephant, or the elephant is part of me. And it's going onward in a very slow pace, but it's really going forward. And at the same time, I want to be on this elephant because it feels very comfortable to be in such a powerful position. But at the same time, I am the controller of the elephant, and I'm looking at what he's heading at, and I'm like, oh my God, what he's heading at. And I want to turn around. I want to turn around. I want to turn around. But I know that on the moment that I start controlling my elephant 180 degrees the other way around, the elephant will be gone. That's the feeling. So I need to keep sitting on this elephant, although I feel, maybe that's the same feeling like you said, what I just said, like at the same time, I feel very excited to be on this elephant. And at the same time, I'm so frightened, because as a controller of the elephant, I can see all these things that are telling me like, Laura, how are you going to do this financially? Laura, how this is not how everybody is doing it, But there is also this very big knowledge in myself, that's the elephant, that is saying that doesn't matter, because how everybody is doing it is not saying anything about how you are going to do it. Because if you are staying with your own feeling and completely with yourself and completely in the now and not thinking about what is laying in front of you, then that's the place you want to be. And that's a very powerful position. And then you can be so much yourself and you can give so much to everybody that's where you want to be. But it feels so frightening. It feels so frightening at the same time. So that's actually, like you said, it's compared to last week, it's maybe the same feeling. Yeah. So,
and then the image that when you were telling me last week that came up inside of me, where we got like these goosebumps, I also feel like sharing now, was like a picture that came inside of me where I said, okay, so what is if for you and the elephant a bridge will appear, so you will not fall down this thing, but what will fall down will be old pieces of you, old behaviors of you, old thinking patterns of you. So everything old kind of that is not needed anymore in the newer that will fall down. And this might also be the fear of, oh, I'm going to die at some point. Yeah, maybe pieces of you will die, like metaphorically spoken. But for you and the elephant, nothing will happen because the bridge will appear. And that's an energy that is really going on at the moment. I really have to say. So these things will fall. And also when you're talking about this power that you have then, power is scary. This is why so many people don't step into their light, because it's scary to have the responsibility. It's scary to have your own business. Of course, it gives you freedom, everything we want, but it gives you, it's fearful because if something goes wrong, you stand there with your responsibility, with your things, because you say, hey, it's my shit. I cannot blame somebody else or the company. I am the company. So this is, again, when we look at the coin and the two sides, the light and the shadow, we have the two on everything. So that's the thing with being like in your power. You have the freedom, the responsibility, the power of your life, but also the fear of when something goes wrong, it's only you standing there. Like you have to take this responsibility also on this point. So of course, stepping into the power is a very, very scary step to do. No?
Yeah, it's like I so agree with what you're saying. It's such a beautiful place, but it is so frightening to stand in your power because you have to take responsibility. And I think that's the core word of it, to take the responsibility. And I think that the whole universe at this moment, the whole earth and everything is guiding us to take responsibility in our own lives, and to have this responsibility and to come to this responsibility, there needs to be an awareness on it. And I think that's the shift that we're making now in the world. And to become aware of things, of course, you can try to do it yourself. That's a really nice way, and that's taking a lot of time. But sometimes that's not going fast enough. And that's the moment. I'm convinced that that's the moment that the universe is giving us these chaotic things, like diseases, or environmental problems, like all these hurricanes and the floods and everything. And I know. I don't know, but I know, but I don't want to say that I'm the one who needs to tell you, but I think that that's because we need more awareness. And that's a really painful thing, because it can be very, very painful, because awareness and taking a responsibility is coming with pain.
Yeah, 100,000%. Exactly.
Yeah, that is inevitable. But it is also the case that if you go with your pain, it is giving you at the same time this really lively feeling, because you cannot feel pain if you're not alive.
Absolutely.
And that is also so beautiful. But you have to experience it for maybe some times over and over again to get to know and to get to be used to the experience of the beauty in it, the beauty in the pain. But that sounds very controversial. It sounds very,
and then not at the same time. So that's the funny thing. So when you really felt it, it sounds controversial, but it's not at the same time, because to start feeling also secure in your pain again. Because I think pain is something that makes us feel very unstable, and we feel insecure in our pain. But then to notice there is a security in feeling our pain. Like we can feel secure in this if we knowing how to be with our pain and really connecting with this, because otherwise we will never be connected to our whole being. That is the thing. If we're not ready to face those parts in ourselves, we will never be connected with our whole being, and we will continue feeling empty. We will continue feeling unfulfilled, even though outside everything seems perfect. But there is this unfulfillment, yes, because we are just connected with one side of the coin, if we say this again. And we need to be connected with all of that to step into this full thing. And I think the world is screaming for this at the moment so loud. And I would also love to connect to the point that you said, with awareness and responsibility comes the pain. Because that's the other thing. Responsibility, for some people, it feels it's a great word. They're like, oh, great, I have the responsibility, I have the power. For other people, responsibility, ooh. So it's like also really a way of how to interpretate these words. And everything has its light and shadow. So it comes with this, but it also comes with this at the same time. And I think that's the thing why we sometimes get so afraid of stepping into that, because pain is coming with awareness. When we do this work, and also sometimes in the spiritual field, it seems like, oh, wow, no? Now you're living with awareness, you're living with consciousness. It sounds like this high state everybody wants to reach, but are you ready for it? It's a courage way to go, to live with awareness. It's a courageous way to go, to live with consciousness, because suddenly, this is also part of the journey, you also realize in yourself what you have done. Can you handle the face in the mirror? It's always, we are reminded of the never-ending story when Atreyu is standing in front of the mirror and looks inside his heart, and the dwarf, he says, most of the people, they collapsing at this station because they cannot handle the truth when they look inside of their own truth inside. And that's the thing, with awareness comes here also the awareness of what you by yourself have done. Suddenly you realize, oh my God, this is what I was doing. This is what I was doing to myself. This is what I was doing to others. This is what I was doing to the world. So then comes the other next step of feeling guilty, guilt, shame. Then all these things are coming up with awareness. So it seems like, oh, then I'm getting more aware. Great. Then I'm seeing things. No, what also needs to be learned, how to handle, to deal, or to face the truth, because
because if you come to the point that you feel the shame and you feel the guilt and you feel the pain, then what is very important in this journey of being more aware is that you don't clamps to this new phase of feeling guilty or feeling shame or feeling pain as your new state of being, because then you will experience this pain or shame or whatever the whole time. And I see so many people around me doing that, and they clamps to it and they say like, oh, this is the new me. It's very uncomfortable and I really don't like it and it's really painful, but I'm not going to take a further step because now I'm so afraid of this pain, so I won't take a next step. And I think that's something that I see around me also very much, that people, they choose to keep staying or standing in a position that they already experienced some pain, some guilt, some shame, whatever, but they keep standing there because they are so afraid to take the next step, because now they experienced how much pain they're gonna get from taking steps. And then they are like, I better stay in this position because now I know the amount of pain that I have, instead of taking the next step. But they forget, and that's so unfortunate, they forget that if they go through the pain and they are not going to stay in their pain, then there comes relief, And then it will be so much nicer. Then the next steps will be so much nicer and better. And then you can experience this room in yourself, this growing, expanding of your being, and the ease and the calmness and the peace that is growing inside of you. Then you can start experiencing that. But before you come there, you have to keep on taking steps, and not take one step and then cleanse, and then one step and then cleanse. But the fun thing is, I do it myself as well, but I notice it now. And that's why I'm so in this controversy myself, like feeling so excited and the next time so painful, and then because I want to keep taking these steps, but it's not easy. But I think that maybe this is where we are in the world. Like you said, I think that this is the moment that we're now in the world to do it, and we can help each other in it. We can make each other aware, and we can make each other's journey. We can give some little ointments to each other for in this experience, in taking each other's hands and walking together some parts, because then it's easier and it feels a little bit more comfortable.
Right. So that we share the courage to keep on walking, to keep our endurance going, that we say, okay, no, keep walking, because we need to experience the reality that waits for us after we've been through the darkness. And that's the thing. Once we experience that, and we experience the fulfillment of it, because if here's the light that we experience now, and here comes the darkness, and here comes another quality of light. When we are at this point with the light, and we never been through the darkness, we will always be afraid of the darkness. So we live in this light, but always filled with fear, because we know, oh, once I'm stepping here around the border, I will experience this great darkness that I don't want to get in touch in. But this will be a life in chains. This will be a life in control, because we always need to control what's happened, because we're so afraid to get in touch with the darkness. But if we face the darkness and we go through this, and this is really where the world is right now. I mean, it's also said in some communities that the golden age is coming again. So maybe we're really walking through this inner darkness that is also seen in the world right now. But because if we conquer this, if we hold on to this, if we step through it and keep on walking, and then we come to the real light, I will almost say. This is because this is then the light that holds both, that holds the darkness and the light together. It's like this truth, actually, that we were coming to. I think then we can enjoy this so much more in freedom, because we say, okay, you want to threaten me with the darkness? Great, I've been there and I conquered it. So what do you want to threaten me with? And this is then the moment when we're breaking free and we're breaking out of our chains. And this energy is really universal right now. It's happening in the collective. So of course, inside of ourselves, we feel this. Maybe this is even fitting to what I told you before, that so many things start to break in my environment now. I mean, material things in my environment that go broken, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? So this is also a part of renewing, and something else is gone, and then room for something else is created. So it's this kind of energy, plus the weather that we were also talking about. It's like this rain and the sunshine comes again. So all this wild energy is also seen in the weather at the moment. So it seems to be really a collective thing that is going on at the moment. And like you said, scary and beautiful at the same time. That's the thing.
And what, absolutely. What I also think is that it's important that if we're taking these steps together, because of course we're taking these steps together because we are all together at this same earth planet, it's important to notice that if you start becoming aware of all this that we're talking about, there you can have this exciting feeling in yourself, because that's what's happening when you're becoming aware. Maybe you recognize that you get this exciting, like, oh my God, now I know, oh, now I understand, oh, now it's clear to me, this excitement feeling. What is very important, I think, to know is that you can give this exciting feeling to other people as an inspiration, and you can take other people by hand to take them with you on your journey. But you need to be aware also that you are able to take hands with the people around you that are a little bit behind you, but you cannot take hands with the people that are far behind you. Because if you start trying to pull the people that are really far behind your own level of awareness, then you're spending your energy to people that are not aware enough to reach your level of awareness. So it's important, if you don't want to lose too much energy of yourself, that you start being aware of the people around you that are almost at the same level of awareness as you are, and you can take these people by hand. And at the same time, look around you for the people that are just one step in front of you in awareness, and try to take hands with them, because they can guide you to your next steps. And that is a process that is always going on. That is always going on. But it is, if you start being aware of that as well, then it is so much easier. You can take so much more steps at one time, because then the people that are far behind you, you don't have to spend your energy on it, because the people that are a little bit behind you will take the people that are a little bit behind them and behind them. So then we can take each other, and you don't have to pull the ones that are far behind you, because that's taking you too much energy, instead of spreading your light around the people that are around you, in the nearness of you. You understand a little bit what I'm
very important point. And plus sometimes then the words one is using and stuff is not even understood by, this is also the thing. It's like we speak a different language, and then you say things and they don't get through. So it's not, and like you said, we have for everything a group. So everybody is taken care of. That's the nice thing. Nobody is left behind. Everybody is taken care of. So there's a group that is in the same radius. No, that's maybe a nice image to see a radius where the people are in. And then this moving is happening. But we need to stand in our position, because every position is filled on purpose. And if we are not taking our position and we go back into another circle, it's damaging for this circle we actually are supposed to be in, because this is where our job is. This is where we need to spread the awareness, and we cannot put ourselves back, because there are other people. So for everything is taken care of. The universe basic law is to keep the balance. But if we are stepping out of our truth, we create chaos. We are not in balance anymore, because then we go into a field that we are not meant to be in. And
so what's happening also is that
great.
We are, of course, we are now kind of a how do you say that, one world, and every distance is so small now, because we have the internet and we have all the social media, and we know everything that's happening all over the globe. But here, geographically, it's the same. Like if you read something about what's happening in America or in Australia or whatever, on one place on earth that's not near your own place, then of course you can read about it, but don't get your mind involved in it, because you have your own things to do in your own circle around yourself. And if you're spending your energy in complaining about what's happening in other parts of the world, it doesn't solve anything. It's only draining your own energy. It's not solving anything, because you don't have any influence in these other things that are happening so far away from you, but it is taking your energy and your thoughts away. And I don't say that you cannot read about it or cannot have an opinion about it, but at that moment when you notice, stop with it and let it be.
Don't get lost in there, in this reality.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't get lost in things that are not happening really in the nearness and in your own influence around you.
Right.
But that is taking also too much energy, and then it will slow down the process that we're in.
And I would even go further and say it brings your awareness to a point. Your awareness is needed here. Yeah. Your awareness, your focus, your energy is needed here. Exactly. So how often is the situation happening that maybe the focus is much more on the news and what happens in the world, but you don't see your own child suffering in front of you? This is also what happens. Like, oh, the world. Yeah, but your partner needs your attention right now. Your child needs your attention right now. The lady next door needs your attention right now. But this is the other thing where it is. We all holding on to these topics the media are presenting to us. It is awful. We don't need to talk about it. And we are feeling beings, so we feel the pain that's going on. But our awareness is needed here. This is why we are here at this point, at this place, at this time, because our energy is needed here. So this is always the point where I think I mean, it's just, of course, a suggestion. Everybody is a free person, but in my theory, in my opinion that I'm standing behind is that we need to focus, what can I do in my environment? Where can I help here? When I really want to move something, what can I do here? Because I am here, planted here at this place, at this time. What is my power to do something right here?
Yes. And I want to add one thing still, because if you are wondering in yourself, like, but what should I do? What can I do? There's a really, really easy answer. And people forget that all the time because, well, at least here in Holland, I guess in Germany as well, and maybe in the whole Europe and in all Western countries, I don't know, there is this common feeling of, I need to work because I need to have money, and I need to work, and my production needs to be high because we're living in a capitalistic world. But the downside of that is that we forget that what is the easiest way in this process that we are talking about becoming aware and taking responsibilities, is follow your own happiness. So if you're doing something that's not making you happy, and also not making you happy in a longer term, and you know it, stop doing it. Look for the things that make you happy. And of course, we all have to clean our toilets, but find a way to be happy in cleaning the toilet. And if it's not possible to be happy, then it's not your way, then it's not your path. Then it's not the meaning for you to do it. And I, of course, there are things that we all need to do, but I hope that you understand what I mean. Because I see so many people who are not doing things that they really like, and who are not standing up against their whole environment telling them what to do, because they're stuck in the system. And of course, you're not able to change the system on your own, but you can start spreading the word and asking questions like, how come that everybody here in this office is working so hard that we don't have time to see our own families, for example? How come? Start asking these questions. Because maybe your family is more worth to you than your own colleagues. But how come that you spend much more time with your colleagues than with your family? So something is going wrong there. So start looking inside, what's making you the happiest. That's the easy answer. That's the easy road. Look at what's making you happy. And then you'll find out it isn't as easy as I say now, because it's hard sometimes to follow your own happiness. But it's an easy way. It's easy to remember to keep your focus on what you, if you're wondering yourself, like, what should I do? Start looking at what makes you really happy. That's the easy.
And fulfilled, I think fulfilled is also the nice word to put into that.
Then you become fulfilled.
Right, because some things don't feel like happiness, you know. This is the other thing. If you maybe go through you know where you want to be, where your fulfillment lies, you feel that, but then you experience phases in your life where you say, oh, but right now this doesn't really make me happy, but still I know what I'm doing this for. So this can also appear inside now, that there might be some challenges that feel hard and maybe we don't connect it with happiness, but it's still something where we see the sense. This is that we see it brings us further to our fulfillment.
That's good that you say it. That's really good that you say it, because what you need to become aware of if you want to take this path is to make this difference. And then now the circle is nice round again, to make the distinction in yourself between things that are hurting yourself and are painful because maybe there's still some old trauma on it, or the things that are really not making you happy. And I think that people are mixing that up many times.
Right. Yes, 100%. Good point. Good point.
So if you start following what makes you happy, then of course you are entering sometimes painful moments, but that's something different than not being happy.
Very important difference.
Yes.
Yeah. Trauma might occur that you need to go through,
exactly.
deal with a lot of things that you're going through, but it's a different feeling than of being unfulfilled.
Yeah. So it's very nice that you put the word fulfillment in it.
Yeah, great, because our time here is almost up in recording. But I think it was great that we recorded it, Laura.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for listening, and
you too.
See you soon, I guess.
We'll see each other soon. Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.